A schedule is the backbone of my work as a comic creator. We've seen our favorite comic creators, mangaka, webtoon creators, etc. show their schedule across platforms. This time I'm going to share mine. Through the years of making my comics, I've changed a lot in my schedules because my lifestyle changes every now and then. I have an old schedule that previously worked on me, but I have since changed it again and again. Changes after changes after changes. I used to write my schedule on planners meticulously. I was assigning my tasks hour by hour, if not every 30 minutes of interval, depending on the time needed on an allotted task, most especially when I'm inking my comics. The most panels I've drawn in a day were 15 panels. That's about 3 pages of work. Sure, I was extremely productive, but alas, it didn't last long. It led me to burnout. And that's when I decided to make some changes where my newest layout for my weekly planner is derived from. This was my very first schedule I made. See, it worked for me, but my lifestyle keeps changing due to circumstances outside of my control, so I had to edit it again, arriving to my last schedule. And as of recent, I've made another change. Basically, my schedule consists of cooking on weekdays, shower and preparation afterwards, 4 hours of comic working in the morning, and another 4 on the afternoon. Workouts on weekdays after sitting on the desk long enough, YouTube recording and editing on the weekends, going to the market on Sundays, and free time for my hobbies and other interests before I sleep. I have to clarify that I do not follow my schedule most often. If you're asking me a question, sure, why schedule then? I schedule to determine the healthy balance between working, resting, and enjoying my hobbies. Hence, I follow a schedule that works for me, not a schedule that I ideally want for myself, because I know in the long run that would not be feasible. That's why making a schedule is a test and trial in order to welcome unforeseen changes, specifically unwanted health symptoms that I have to cope with. If you look at my calendar from January of 2022 until September of 2022, there are days I just rest all day. Some days I just work on my YouTube instead of working on my comics. Some days I can only finish a panel instead of my usual 3. And some days I don't do my workouts. Usually I do the adjustments based on my health due to my chronic disorder. If I have bad tremors on my right arm and hand, accompanied by my elevated heart rate, I stop working and immediately go to rest. If I didn't have enough sleep the night before, I wouldn't be waking up at 4 a.m. And the same goes when I experience migraines and monthly cramps. Therefore, I do not tie myself up to the restrictions of a planner. Rather, I make it work for me. These are the key essentials that you must take note of when you are a comic creator working on your schedule. First, this is very basic, and I know not everyone likes doing this, but you have to set your own schedule on a planner, whether on paper or on digital. It helps to keep your tasks on track, and it's easier to edit it when something comes around. I recommend not to go by the hour in regards to drawing panel by panel for your comics, because that could lead to burnout. I do mine weekly and monthly. It's okay if your schedule changes depending on your life circumstances, especially if there's a sudden shift in your life. For example, I live with my parents and siblings. Every morning they go to work and school early. I'm the only one who is available in the morning to cook, so I wake up early to do that. On weekends rather, I don't wake up early to cook breakfast. They do that instead, but there are days that I wake up early on the weekends and cook breakfast for everyone. Another example, going to the market every Saturday used to be our task with my sibling, but recently I'm going with my mom now. Instead of Saturday, we go every Sunday already. Last example, my Saturday used to be a flexible day. Either I draw my comics or do my YouTube. Recently, I noticed I do a lot more YouTube on Saturday than drawing my comics, so my YouTube became every weekend rather than just on Sundays. That's a couple of examples in my life that I could give you. What about you? I'm sure no life is the same. You'll have changes too. Second, make your schedule feasible. Here's how to make it easier for you. Assess the kind of person that you are. Be honest. Are you a comic creator who prefers to have in-between breaks in your work? Or are you capable of working hours straight to finish your work and then take a rest? Are you an early bird or a night owl? Do you have a day job? Are you unemployed or a student? Is your comics a full-time job, a side job, or just a hobby? These are just one of the many questions that you could ask yourself before you make your own schedule. A schedule for a comic creator who does their comic full-time is different from a comic creator who is a student working on it as a hobby. The same goes with a comic creator who prefers to draw late at night than a comic creator who prefers to wake up early to draw. I highly recommend for you not to force yourself on an ideal schedule that you want for yourself, because if you don't arrive to the expectation that you set for yourself, you'll feel disappointed and the guilt of not living up to it will discourage you. Lastly, make sure to design a work-life balance schedule including your basic life necessities, free time for hobbies and loved ones, and other responsibilities that you have to show up for. Your life does not revolve solely on your comics. You have a life outside of it, so live your life that will not make you regret in the long run. You deserve it too. Reminder for everyone, the best schedule is the one that works for you, not what you ideally want for yourself.